you're invited to drop by and see our brand new big showroom. Now open at Abernathy Chevrolet Buick GMC in Lincoln. Yes, it's big, it's bright, and it's full of great deals on Chevrolets, Buicks, and GMC trucks. Hey, it's truck month. Come in now and get 0% financing for 60 months, plus $5,500 total cash allowance on the 2017 Chevy Silverado 1500 Crew Cab. Come in for all the details at the all-new Abernathy Chevrolet Buick GMC truck, 1445 East Main Street, Lincoln. Just arrived at Al-Ain Motorsports in Lincoln. Street Legal Factory Golf Carts. Come in and see the Street Legal Classic 4 or the Street Legal Forester AC4. Both Street Legal straight from the factory, complete with built-in battery charger, Trojan batteries, and fully loaded, and with a 2-year warranty. Financing is available with no money down. Payments around $115 per month. Come in for the details. Get your new golf cart today. Street Legal at Al-Ain Motorsports, 3636 East Highway 27 in Lincoln. Online at AlAinMotorsports.com. Alcom Storage on Dick Beam Road in Cherryville is proud to be a sponsor of local high school and American Legion sports. We salute all of our local athletes on a job well done. And if you need storage space, see Alcom Storage. You'll find all sizes right for your storage needs. All units are lighted with security cameras and monthly extermination. Be sure to check our prices. Alcom Storage, located at 235 Dick Beam Road in Cherryville. Just call 704-435-8803 for Alcom Storage today.
There's only one place to go for expert auto and truck repair in this area, All Ray Tire at 140 Main Street, Cherryville. Soon to start another location across the street at 500 Main Street. Known for North Carolina inspections, brakes, oil changes, tires, and more, All Ray is soon to offer car and truck detailing and accessories for your car or truck. Open 8 to 5 Monday through Friday. Call 704-802-4048 to schedule your next oil change or brake service. All Ray Tire, Cherryville, proud supporters of local American Legion baseball and high school.
Beam Construction Company in Cherryville is now hiring. Right now, Beam Construction Company has job openings for carpenters and masons. Just apply at their office at 601 East Main Street in Cherryville. Since 1925, Beam Construction Company has been dedicated to building the future of the Piedmont regions of North and South Carolina, from schools to churches to town halls. For more information, call 704-435-3206 or visit the website at beamconstruction.com. Beam Construction Company, dedicated to building your future. From auto to home to business to life insurance, your hometown agent is Rocky Bennett at Bennett Insurance Group. Rocky has been serving this area for over 33 years, offering you the best in coverage with Erie Insurance. No matter your claim, Rocky will work side by side with you for your best coverage. See Rocky Bennett today at Bennett Insurance Group, 116 West Main Street in Cherryville. Call 704-435-0270 for Bennett Insurance in Cherryville.
Welcome out to the best in sports. It's Tim Johnson and Mr. Ken Link here on a Wednesday on WCSL 1590 AM. Every Wednesday you catch us from 4 to 5 here playing nothing and talking about nothing but your very best in sports here today. Kenny, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Tim. We're here on a hot Wednesday afternoon. It feels like summertime again.
It does, don't it? It sure does.
We've got some unusual weather, and we got some unusual happenings in sports, Tim.
Oh, man. Tell me about it.
We got a power-packed show for you this afternoon, folks. It involves sports. It involves politics. It involves scandals, corruptions, patriotism, and that's all intertwined in sports.
But it don't involve us. That's the only thing.
Not directly, but we're going to talk about it, and we're going to cover a lot of areas from football to basketball to baseball. Baseball season's ending up. We're going to quickly know who the wild card teams are, and there are going to be some wild card games, Tim, as early as next week, Tuesday and Wednesday is when the 2 wild card games are, and we'll talk more about Major League Baseball and what's going there.
Absolutely. All righty, Ken, the big breaking news is coming out of Louisville. the head basketball coach there, Rick Pitino, who's been there for a good while, Ken. He's been in the pros with the Knicks and the Boston Celtics, and he's also with the Kentucky Wildcats back. Also, he started out, Princeton, is that right? Princeton?
Yes.
Was there,
Providence.
Providence. Took him, yes, he did. Took Providence to the Final Four there with one of the coaches that coached under him for a long time, too, was the point guard there. Billy, with the Florida Gators, won a couple national championships there.
Yeah,
great basketball coach. Yeah. Now he's, I think he's Oklahoma City. Is that right?
Yeah, he moved from
head
Florida.
Coach.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, Rick Pitino's under fire, and he has been fired as we speak of.
He effectively has been fired. I mean, officially he's been relieved of duties, but he's been fired as well as the AD there. The AD is Tom Jurich, and they're both being fired as this scandal that involves Adidas, a bunch of schools. Maybe before it's all over, Tim, they're saying maybe a dozen major schools, coaches, agents, and athletes' families.
Wow. That's big news right there.
It's far-reaching, and it's a FBI investigation, not an NCAA investigation. An FBI investigation that's been going on for 3 years. And the prosecutors have been out, and they've been scratching and finding, and they laying the boom.
Wow.
There's already some bribery charges, criminal charges against executive from Adidas, assistant coaches from Arizona, Auburn, Oklahoma, Southern California, and it's just a start. It's going to get worse as we go forward, and more news hits us.
So some of the coaches from some of the schools have been tagged. It's been Arizona, Auburn, Oklahoma, Southern California, and like Ken said, there'll be more schools coming to the forefront as well. So, like I said, this investigation has been going on for 3 years. The U.S. Attorney General said that the FBI and the prosecutors set out to investigate the dark underbelly of college basketball. Ken, you know, it doesn't matter what sport it is. The athletes are getting special privileges. That's what we call.
Yes, and a lot of people are saying, I'm not surprised.
No, I'm not either.
This was going on.
Oh, yeah.
Finally, it's been discovered and coming to light, but we know this has been going on a long time.
Yeah. So my question is, Rick Pitino, who's going to be, he has been fired, and the athletic director, Tom Jurich, they're at University of Louisville Cardinals. He won a national championship, Ken. Is that going to be stripped from his school as well?
Who knows? We'll see where it goes from here. But we're a week from about a week from basketball season starting for college basketball.
Right.
And so they'll have to have an interim coach, an interim AD. I mean, it just, puts their
whole program back.
Just upends the whole program.
Yeah.
And Pitino, just to be honest, he's been in a little trouble before. He's not the cleanest guy. And the last thing that was happened was some problems with some escorts and some players. And, of course, he played the card. I didn't know anything about it, but he's played that card a couple times. He couldn't play it this time.
No, they got him. Yeah, they nailed him. So my question is, Carolina Tar Heels and the Duke Blue Devils, I mean, that's two of the powerhouses of collegiate basketball. You know, when you think of college basketball, you think of Duke and Carolina, and, of course, UCLA too. Now, UCLA had a prominent figure last year and went deep in the NCAA tournament. You know, they had the young man that came out as a freshman, was a really great basketball player. So, his dad was making money off of him through his shoe contract, stuff like that. So is any of this going to be related to him as well?
We'll see. Nobody really knows. But what I think is going to happen is they start really getting into the trial, and these folks maybe even having to go to jail. They're going to start singing. And when they start singing, they're going to drop more names. And as you drop more names, the FBI is just going to keep digging deeper. And who knows how far this goes and where it goes to. I don't think anybody knows, but I won't be surprised if we continually hear about what they find, more and more coaches involved, more bribery charges, because this is widespread. This is widespread, they say.
My thing, Nick Saban's one of the greatest coaches of all time. Probably, to me, got to be a top three of the greatest college coach of all time, no doubt. Especially what he's done at Alabama with that program there. Is it possible, Ken? Is it possible? In the back of your mind, do you think Nick Saban can be doing stuff under the table to get those recruits?
I don't want to speculate. I really don't, because I don't know. But I know some of that stuff goes on, and if you
it's a bidding war. Think about it. When you go,
if you don't think it goes on, then you got your head in the sand.
Well,
it does. It does. To what extent? Who knows? But sometimes it's big time money. In this case, they found big time money.
When you go to a kid's house and you're sitting there with his parents, stuff like that, and you're recruiting this young man, you're bringing him to the school and stuff like that. There's no way in the world maybe you got the number one recruit in America, and you got 7 or 8, big name schools, maybe more than that, because a lot of times you big recruit, they pretty much know where they want to go, and they go. So therefore, some of the some of the colleges don't even go there because they know they don't even stand a chance. So you go there knowing that you're going to have to do something, some way or another, change this young man's mind. Of course you say, hey, we can win a national championship with you. That's the number one thing. Okay, but what if some reason that the program is not ready to make that next leap to success? Maybe it's not Alabama. Maybe it's somebody like give you for instance, maybe a Mississippi State or Arkansas in the SEC, or somebody like in the ACC. It would be somebody like an NC State, or maybe a Carolina, somebody like that. And do you bring the money out? Do you say, hey, we'll take care of this for you? Come on, our school here.
Well, I think it happens, but I'm not going to speculate on what schools are involved or what extent it's happened. Right. But what they said they found was a web of corruption where money flowed between athletes' families, coaches, and others, with the goal being to lock in where young athletes would play, who would represent them, and what clothing they would wear.
I don't have a problem with them buying clothes for the kids. I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with that at all.
Well, now there's no doubt that in college,
I don't have a problem.
The kids are exploited, and the university makes lots of money, and the kids don't get any.
Right.
Of it. That's true statement.
I don't have a problem with the school, not Adidas, not Nike, not Converse. None of that. I don't have a problem with the school saying, hey, we're going to give this kid allot this kid money each month to buy him clothes and maybe some spending money, maybe going out to eat and stuff like that. I have no problem with that.
Yeah, that's another issue, and I agree with you.
Yeah.
There should be a stipend-type amount given to these kids because the university makes so much money off of them.
Hey.
But this under-the-table activity that's really corrupt.
Well, here's what Adidas is doing. They're going in. They're saying, hey, we're going to give this kid new tennis shoes. We're going to give him this and that. They know this kid's going to come out with his basketball or football, whatever, and go to the pros. You know why they do that? Because right then they got that kid locked in. Locked him in to make more money. So got him from Nike and everybody else.
Yeah. And they can make money.
And don't think Nike ain't behind this either. Don't think they're thinking to themselves, hey,
well, Nike's number one in sales.
Oh yeah, they always will be.
Adidas is number 2, and they're trying
Under Armour.
And they're trying to make. Now Under Armour was real smart. They got involved with the youth activities, the youth leagues early on. And they got their brand in there.
Yes.
And, of course, as those guys get older and go through, they carry through.
Yes.
So they were smart from a business perspective.
Yep. Like you said, started with the youth. Yeah.
Getting it into youth.
I agree with you.
But one of the things that happened today, in addition to the coach and AD at Louisville actually effectively getting fired, is they also came out and said an unnamed student athlete has been withheld from all NCAA activities. A 5-star recruit, Brian Bowen, they didn't name him, but this is what they say they're talking about. Brian Bowen, who committed to Louisville late last spring. Well, that timing of that, Tim, coincides with some of this money transfers.
It does. Yep.
And so even though they didn't mention the kid's name, everybody knows that's who they're probably talking about.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you're right, and I agree with you, too. I heard it on ESPN earlier today, too. They was talking about that young man. So, and, I mean, it's there. The money's always been there. And to me, I don't see why they don't go ahead and allot the kids, allot them so much money a month, $500 or whatever, for clothes and for spending money for, for food and stuff like that. I mean, like you said, the universities are making tons of money off these young men, off jersey sales and stuff like that, and just on ticket prices too for coming to watch these, these skilled athletes and stuff like that to play ball. So, something's got to come, but until that happens, it's illegal. It's illegal what you're doing. It's criminal offense.
Illegal. And like I said, this is not NCAA. This is FBI filing bribery charges, and there'll be other charges as we go down this road. And so we'll report back as it's happening. It's just hit the newsstands in the last 2 days, the news feeds, and it's just happening, and we'll learn more, I guess, each day as it goes along.
All righty, college football in the ACC. The Clemson Tigers are still undefeated. The Virginia Tech Hokies, the Duke Blue Devils, who defeated the Chaz Surratt and the North Carolina Tar Heels. And Wake Forest came off a little scare from the Appalachian Mountaineers. And Miami Hurricanes, they remain undefeated, and that is in the ACC. And as you can see, Clemson still ranked number 2, right behind the Alabama Crimson Tide. And so in NC State with the big upset, Ken, over the Florida State Seminoles.
State seems to do this every year. They'll upset a Florida State or Clemson about every year. They got that big win against a team that you think they're going to lose to. They win. Now, usually they turn around and lay an egg against the team they're supposed to beat. So we'll see if they still doing that this year. We get that out of them a little bit.
They got a really good defense.
But they're 3-1 right now, and everybody talked about their defense going in, and I think the quarterback's playing pretty good now. So they're developing a pretty good team.
I like the quarterback. He's pretty good. He's pretty good
with that defense.
And
now,
I watched a little bit of that,
you mentioned the Duke beating the Tar Heels 27-17. Now, Chaz Surratt had a pretty good game. Just late in that game, Tim, he was trying to make some things happen on a 3rd down. He was already wrapped up in the arms of a defender, and he tried to make something happen and floated a pass that ended up being a pick 6. But they lost that game 27-17. But Chaz was 17 out of 32 passing, 1 interception. That's his first and only interception so far this year. 259 yards passing, 1 touchdown pass, 77 yards rushing, Tim, and a touchdown.
He seems to give Larry Fedora everything he needs at quarterback. I mean, he can run. He's got the legs. He's got the arm. He makes good decisions with the football, too. And like you said on that 3rd down play when he threw an interception, you know, that's going to happen. I mean, as he plays better competition as the season goes on, when he plays the Florida State teams or if he plays the Clemson team, stuff like that, when they have really elite defenses, you know, they're going to make they're going to make Chaz make mistakes and stuff like that. But he protects the football.
He does. Normally he protects it really well.
Yes.
One thing about this Tar Heel team, Tim, they have been crippled with injuries. And they had 3 more injuries Saturday, season-ending. One of them was the wide receiver.
Yes.
One was, I think, a defensive lineman, and lost another guy. 3 guys season-ended, and they'd already had a bunch of season-ending injuries. So their depth wasn't that good to start with, so they're really being hurt by the injury bug.
Yeah, Pro was their number 1 receiver, I think, was he not?
He was.
He's good. So he's done?
He's done.
Really?
He broke his
collarbone?
Yes.
Yeah, I saw him when he hit the ground, and
That's when he did it.
I told my son, I said, he's done for the year. I said, I can tell by the way he's coming off the field. I said, he's either broke his shoulder.
And they lost one wide receiver 2 weeks before. So, I mean, they've just been dropping like flies, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, I'm really glad to see Chaz doing well. Chaz playing really great for the North Carolina Tar Heels. Like I said, I saw that 56-yard touchdown run, man. That was impressive.
It
Ken.
was. I tell you
Smart,
what,
man.
He found the seam, and
he
turned it on,
didn't he? He turned
it on when he found that seam.
I saw that, so I mean, that's big for the Carolina Tar Heels to have Chaz Surratt, and he's only going to get better. Imagine what he's going to be like next year.
Yes.
You know, as a starting quarterback.
And as he hopefully next year gets a little bit better supporting cast.
They got to get a defense, Ken.
They got to get a defense. They really do.
Ken, Fedora, I mean, he needs defense.
Well, you got to recruit guys for defense. You know, you can't
doesn't.
root them all
I don't
for
think
offense.
he does. Does he?
I don't know. I mean, you got to recruit good athletes and put them on both sides of the ball, not just one side of the ball.
Yeah, I mean, I tell you, man, they need some defensive presence. If they could get a defense there with Chaz, you know, running the show, man, they might be pretty special. All right, so you got the top 5 NCAA football rankings. You have the Alabama Crimson Tide at number 1, Clemson Tigers number 2, the Oklahoma Sooners, my wife's home state, Oklahoma, they're at number 3. And then you have the Penn State, the linebacking core from Penn State. That is the Nittany Lions. They are at number 4. And you have the Trojans from the University of Southern California. Ken, you got them at number 5 for the ranked there for the NCAA football.
Yeah, and a couple other ACC teams that are ranked in the top 20. Virginia Tech, 12th, and Miami, 14th.
All right, Ken, that's good college football ACC news. Chaz Surratt and the boys. Let's see, who's Carolina play this week?
Georgia Tech.
Georgia Tech. That triple option.
And I'm afraid with Carolina's defense, that triple option is probably going to put a few points up.
All right, we're going to take a commercial break. We'll be back here on The Best in Sports. You're listening to Tim Johnson and Ken Link here every Wednesday from 4 to 5 on WCSL 1590. KTC Broadcasting at its best.
The RVer's most trusted resource for over 50 years. That's Campers Inn. Family owned and operated since 1966. And this area's dealer is Campers Inn in Kings Mountain. Campers Inn is the nation's largest family-operated RV dealership, 16 locations up and down the East Coast. From motorhomes to travel trailers and more, from the industry's leading manufacturers, plus award-winning RV sales and service. See hundreds of RVs for the best prices, plus they have certified and trained service personnel and a professional staff with years of RV knowledge. Campers Inn, Highway 161 South at I-85 in Kings Mountain. Tell them Calvin sent you in to the Campers Inn. Ready for a new ride? Then see Justin or Rick at the car store in Cherryville. Right now on the lot, a 2009 Toyota RAV4, 90,000 miles, priced at $10,900. Also a 2002 Toyota Tacoma SR5 with V6 engine and 140,000 miles, priced at $12,500. Drive in style with a 2007 Cadillac Escalade, all-wheel drive, 108,000 miles for $20,000. And a 2005 Honda Accord LX local car, 142,000 miles, $69.95. See Justin or Rick today at the car store, 1801 Lincoln and Highway 150 East in Cherryville.
We're community-minded. We believe in what we do. We love this town. We live in just like you.
We're a community bank. That's why we always try to approach things from a community-minded point of view. When something is in the best interest of the communities we serve, it's good for us as well. We're community-minded, just like you.
Carolina Trust Bank, member FDIC. Community-minded, just like you.
We're community-minded, just like you.
Carolina Trust Bank, with 3 offices in Lincoln, also in Gastonia, Denver, Forest City, Hickory, Lake Lure, and Vail. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender. At Carolina Care Health and Rehabilitation in Cherryville, it's their passion that makes them different. Their goal is to return their rehabilitation residents home as soon as possible. Carolina Care Health and Rehabilitation offers 24-hour nursing care, foods prepared on site, private and semi-private accommodation, television and telephone, and even wireless internet. From short-term to long-term care, your care and safety is their top priority. For more information, call and speak with a representative at 704-435-4161 or visit the website at sandstonehealth.com. Carolina Care Health and Rehabilitation, where their passion makes them different.
There you go, Ann. Your new account is now open. Just one more little thing.
Here's your card.
What was that?
It's my new bank. Every time I turn around, I get hit with another fee.
You need to get an account at Carolina Federal Credit Union.
She's right.
Tired of getting hit by bank fees? Switch to Carolina Federal Credit Union today. Make those pains go away.
Here's your receipt.
Well, the grass is growing. It's not going to wait. Hop on that new Husqvarna. What? You don't have a new Husqvarna zero-turn mower? Then you need to get one. And now's the time at Carolina Hardware Garden and Pool Supply in Lincoln. Coming out for 0% APR financing for up to 48 months. And while there, take a look at their selection of outdoor furniture, now at 30% off. So hurry into Carolina Hardware and Garden Center, located on the Reachville Road in Lincoln.
We're back on the Best in Sports Show. Ken Link and Tim Johnson on a Wednesday afternoon on WCSL 1590. Been talking some college football. We're going to talk some NFL football. And there's a lot of news about the NFL. And the first thing we're going to do is go over some of the games this week, the results, and what we see in the NFL. And right now, Tim, we only see two undefeated teams with 3-0 records.
That's right.
That's Atlanta and Kansas City, which is really interesting that after 3 games, you only got 2 undefeated teams.
And I tell you, the Falcons are playing really good football, both sides of the football, defense and offense. They should have got beat against the Detroit Lions. I think the Lions should have beat them. I think that was a raw deal that the Lions got on that last play. And Kansas City, we all know, is playing really good football too. The quarterback's playing really good. They got an outstanding young running back in Kareem Hunt.
Yeah, he's been doing it
rookie,
every
I'm
week.
telling
All
you,
3 games, he's looked
outstanding.
good. And they feature him, and he's really coming through for him.
They got some dynamic players, Ken, on both sides of the football. They got linebackers really good too, but they have the that dynamic football player who plays on offense and special teams too. So he could change the game in a blink of an eye.
That's the nickname Human Joystick.
Yeah,
from North Carolina, A&T.
Yes.
And he's there, and he's a little small guy, but he's quick.
Man, he's good.
And
like watching him play.
And they use him not just for kick returns. They'll get him out there as receiver and use some plays for him. And he's got the quickness and speed to make you miss and break it.
Kim, we had some upsets last week. What do you think about Jacksonville, who beat Baltimore 44-7 over in London? Now, to me, that was an upset. I mean, Baltimore's always been known for their defense and stuff like that. But, man, and also – the quarterback for Baltimore was benched.
Yeah, they said this was the tied franchise record for the worst defeat in the NFL for a Baltimore Ravens team. They were behind 37-0. They ended up losing 44-7. But
Joe Flacco, so I'm thinking of Joe Flacco, the quarterback,
that ball
was benched.
game was in London, and they said after the game that they never wanted to have any part of an international game or going to London again.
Yeah. Buffalo over Denver, 26-12. Minnesota over Tampa Bay, 34-17. To me, that wasn't so much a shocker, but I was shocked to see Tampa Bay only score 17 points with the offense they have. New Orleans over the Carolina Panthers, 34-13. Now that, to me, I'd say that one and the Buffalo over to Denver was the 2 biggest shockers of the day.
Those were the 2.
Yeah,
those
to
were
me.
The 2, and it wouldn't have been such a shocker for the Panthers if they'd have lost a close game. But they got completely dominated,
outcoached.
Their offense didn't look good. Their defense was normally good, didn't look good. Gave up almost 150 yards on the ground. Breeze picked them apart. The coaching staff had a bad day. The offensive coordinator had a bad day. Ron Rivera, I think, made a very unwise, really inexplicable call. When you're down 18 and you got 4th and 5 on their 35-yard line and you punt, you don't even go for a field goal or try to get the first down.
Yeah.
I
agree with you, Ken.
I don't understand such a call.
I agree with you 100%.
I really don't. I really don't.
Yeah, I couldn't understand that either. I figured they would go for that. Like you say, down that many points. They had to
I mean, if you
score, you got to score.
If you kick a field goal, you cut it to 15, which is 2 scores. But that's exactly what you want to do. And it wasn't in field goal range. Cano just nailed a 48-yarder earlier in the game with plenty of room to spare. So well in range. So I just didn't understand that call.
The Minnesota over Tampa Bay. Minnesota's got a really good defense. We all know that. They're probably, I'd say Minnesota probably top 5 defense in our league. But Tampa Bay to only score 17 points, I was kind of shocked there because I tell you, they got weapons everywhere.
Yeah, I think they had some turnovers in that game. I was shocked by that score too because that game wasn't close. I mean, Tampa Bay got dominated by Minnesota from the get-go.
And what Buffalo did to Denver. After Denver, what Denver did to Dallas, I guess Denver, when they played Dallas, was their Super Bowl year to me because they just beat the tail end off of Dallas. And then they go up there to Buffalo, and Buffalo just puts a butt whooping on them, 26-12.
Well, Tim, it just shows you how unpredictable NFL is. And it's just like somebody says, on any given Sunday, another team can beat you.
Yeah.
You look at the teams on paper and say, no, it can't happen. Yes, it can happen.
It
does happen.
Yes, it does.
Now, we was talking about the Panthers, Tim, and you and I, off the air, talked a little bit about Cam Newton. And you told me earlier this week you think he's hurt.
He's hurt.
And I agree with you, Tim. He's not 100%. He doesn't look comfortable throwing the ball. And they're not letting him throw the ball every day in practice. In fact, he was mimicking Derek Anderson, the backup quarterback, in the offense during a practice last week.
You can't do that.
He didn't even throw the ball. He mimicked his footwork. He mimicked the reads. But he didn't throw the ball. And it's
you can't be successful and do that.
Why is he not throwing the ball? And it's got to be because his shoulder arm is bothering him.
I heard from an inside source, a good friend of mine, that knows a little bit about the Panthers. He told me that Cam is still struggling with his shoulder, and and listen, I know a little bit about arm issues from my older son, who had his whole entire shoulder reconstructed. He tore his labrum, he tore his bicep, and his rotator cuff. Well, Cam tore his rotator cuff. That's what he had surgery. So here's the thing. I mean, he had it. Let's see. He had his surgery in March, I believe it was. Okay, in order for him to be healthy and be able to participate in the preseason stuff, he should have had his surgery in January, sort of end of January. I'd say the 1st of February, in between there. Therefore, that would give him a month into the season to get ready. He's just now getting ready. And I'm going to tell you, when you tired your rotator cuff as a pitcher in baseball, I'm telling you, that's 12 months. That's 12 months. And listen, a pitcher throws a baseball a lot more than a quarterback does.
Well, I think the Panthers, looking back at it, they didn't make the right decision. His arm would bother him at the end of the season.
Yeah.
And
he's not 100%.
And they said, let's try to let it heal on its own. And I'm sitting there going, if you know it got an issue, why would you try to do that?
Well,
then after it didn't heal on its own, they waste 3 or 4 months, and then they had the surgery.
Well,
that didn't make a lot of sense.
Here's my thing. The Carolina Panthers, they own Cam Newton pretty much. Wouldn't you say that? Because of him playing football for the organization? Why? Who makes a decision here? Is it the Panthers or is it Cam Newton says when he's going to have surgery? To me,
well, it's a combination, but I'm sure the trainers.
That's what
I mean. The medical staff they were working with that they said, okay, yeah, we'll see if we want to see it heal on its own.
Well, you got to know. I mean, you got to be 100% accurate.
I agree with you because that's the medical experts. They're the ones who should know.
So my thing is, somebody dropped the ball.
They did.
Somebody dropped the ball. So I look at it.
They won't admit it, but somebody dropped the ball.
I mean, Cam knows his body, and he knows whether he's going to be ready or not. Maybe he thought he was. Maybe the trainers maybe said, hey, maybe we need to have this surgery maybe in February, or maybe the end of February, right before March, or then maybe Cam said, hey, I'm getting better. Maybe you don't know. But what I'm saying is somebody had to make a decision, and I think they dropped the ball. I think Cam should have had his surgery sometime in February.
He should have.
After his regular season, maybe in January. As soon as the season, they didn't go to the playoffs, so why not have it in January?
Well, his shoulder was bothering the last few games he played.
Absolutely.
To me, I would have tried to do something as soon as possible after the season. That's what I do.
You can't wait.
Now Cam's the type of player, he wants to get out there and play. And he'll try to play hurt, but I don't think that's the best thing for he or the team.
Well, what's the best thing right now for the Panthers? Is it better to maybe, if he's not practicing, Ken, why not set him down until he's ready, till he can practice and practice? I mean, because what if he goes out there and gets hurt? He's done for the rest of the season.
Yeah, and I don't know.
Why not let Anderson come in?
I don't know what the risk of injuring that shoulder.
It sounds like Anderson
more severely. I don't know.
It sounds like to me Anderson's taking all the snaps.
Well, he's taking a lot of them in practice. I know last week it was one whole practice that Cam took none of the snaps.
Well, to me, Anderson's he didn't look good in preseason at all.
He didn't look good in them last 2 series in that game Sunday.
So you know what my thing?
He didn't look good
you know what
at
I do? You know what I do if I'm Jerry Richardson? I'd make a phone call to CBS and talk to Tony Romo. Yeah, I would.
You mean the Cowboys didn't make that call week before last, Tim? After that big loss?
No, they ain't making a call. Especially after what so we wish Cam well without a doubt. We want him to get better because he's a dynamic football player. He's definitely one of the faces of the NFL without a doubt. So we wish him all the best in the world. So
speaking of your Cowboys,
yes,
they did look good on Monday night against the Arizona Cardinals.
We don't need to call Tony Romo. Okay. We got a quarterback, Ken.
Dak looked good. He did look good Monday night.
He did. He looked
he made some beautiful plays out there.
He did. He looked outstanding. He pretty much took that team on his back. In the first quarter, I thought that Palmer was on the way to Canton in the Hall of Fame. I mean, he could. I think it was 11, 12 for 12 or something like that.
Yeah. Well, the thing about Palmer, he can get on a streak, but he's not mobile. Tim, if you get a rush, you can get him because he's not mobile.
He's got age on him.
Yeah, he's easy to sack. Let's just put it that way. Once you get penetration, he's in trouble.
Yeah, I tell you, my defense looked really good after the first quarter. That defense is locked in. I'm telling you, DeMarcus Lawrence had 3 sacks, should have 4 sacks on that penalty. Took one away. I mean, he's leading the NFL in sacks. I mean, he dominated, Ken.
Yeah.
I mean, just
They
pure.
look good.
They couldn't stop him. And I'm sitting there thinking, are they going to put somebody to maybe chip at him, maybe a back or maybe a tight end coming out of the backfield? I mean, he was in the backfield the whole time.
Yeah.
So he looked outstanding. Jordan Lewis, the young rookie out of Michigan, man, he made, 6 tackles in open field. He looked like, Ken, he looked really good as a rookie. Now, the week before, he got thrown to the Wolves against Denver, and they just picked him apart. But he came in and played well toward the end of that game. But I tell you what, he is going to be a player for the Cowboys. Jordan Lewis, good football player. So I'm excited about what the Cowboys did. Before we get on our next subject, Ken, I want to go to a commercial break here just shortly, and then what we'll do is we'll definitely get into. We got some we got something we want to talk about, and Ken being a veteran, I know that he's got a few things he wants to say too on the national anthem protest too, and I do too. So we'll touch base on that coming up right after these messages here on WCSL 1590. It's the best of sports. Ken Link, Mr. Baseball, and Tim Johnson. We'll be back after these fine messages.
For excellence in funeral and cremation services, talk with Carpenter Porter Funeral and Cremation Services in Cherryville, promoting the highest ethical and professional standards while maintaining cost-effective service. Call 704-435-6711 or come and talk with funeral directors John Porter and Hannah Garrett, offering you guidance during one of life's most difficult times. Carpenter Porter Funeral and Cremation Service, 1100 East Main Street in Cherryville, a member of the National and North Carolina Funeral Directors Associations. The summer sales event continues at Classic Ford Lincoln in Shelby. Pay 0% for 72 months, plus $1,000 trade assist on the Ford Fusion, Escape, Edge, and Explorer. But that's not all. Pay 0% for 60 months, plus $1,000 assist on the Ford F-150. And Classic Ford Lincoln in Shelby still has a few remaining loaner vehicles where you can save up to $10,000. Come on in for all the details. Now's the time to buy, but time's running out at Classic Ford Lincoln, 1775 East Dixon Boulevard, Shelby. Online at ClassicFordShelby.com.
Wooden storage buildings are now on sale at College Building Supplies in Dallas. Come see Tracy Lyles today for some great prices, like 8x8 buildings starting at $13.49, and that includes delivery and setup on your lot. 3-tab roofing shingles are $35 a square. Architect roofing is $48 a square. College Building Supplies has exterior wood, cement, and fiberglass siding, wooden pre-made steps, and concrete steps. College Building Supply, Highway 321 in Dallas, right across from Gaston College. Call 704-922-8649.
First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County for over 75 years. Customer service is a priority at First Federal Savings Bank, where they want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, products, and services of larger banks with hometown people that you see throughout your community. They live here, they work here, and this community matters to the people at First Federal Savings Bank. First Federal Savings Bank has 4 convenient locations in downtown Lincoln, Bossier City, Denver, and West Lincoln. Stop in and visit and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
All right, we're back here on The Best in Sports. Tim Johnson and Ken Link every Wednesday from 4 to 5. You can catch us live talking all your high school sports as well as your collegiate and professional sports as well. And that gentleman's right. Xavier Woods did not play bad at all. He played really good for the Cowboys. So, and the Cowboys got a lot of great young talent, and they're looking really good this year, Ken. So I'm excited for the Cowboys defense and, of course, Dak Prescott, who was the leader of the whole entire team, and it's good to see them doing well, and we're going to pick up some more wins as the season goes on. I promise you that, Ken. We're going to be there at the end, I promise you. But one thing that stood out to me, Ken, on the Monday Night Football game between Cowboys and Arizona was Cowboys took a knee. They took a knee. The whole entire team, the owners, the coaches, Jerry Jones had his sons down there. They took a knee, but they did it the right way. They did it before the national anthem. They were not going to go out there during the national anthem, whether it's any players, coaches, or Jerry Jones, and allow the team to go out there and disrespect the country, the United States of America, the veterans, the people who has fought for our lives to make you such a great country to live in. He wasn't going to do that. And I wouldn't have done that either. So I take my hat off. I salute Jerry Jones as well as the Arizona Cardinals. They did the same thing as well. So, you know, I know you got a lot of feelings about this, Ken. I do too. So I'm going to turn things over to you and just let you go, and we'll talk a little bit about this.
Yeah, let me say this right out.
And one thing, we have not said a lot about the protest.
No, we haven't.
You know, we have not. We've kept our comments to ourselves. But I support our president of the United States. I want to make that clear. I voted for Donald Trump, and I'm a Donald Trump supporter. And I'm not a political person whatsoever. I don't care about politics. But I will say I support what he said, and I stand by what he said. And I think what he said was right. But he used the wrong choice of words. And how about going about saying what he did? You know, about the ugly word he said about you know, some of the players.
Yeah,
but I do support him.
And that's not the first time he's probably used a poor choice of words. But let me say up front, one of the freedoms we have in this country is freedom of speech. And I respect everybody's opinion, whether I agree with it or not, and I'm glad we have those freedoms that we can say what we want to, and folks can judge that and say what they want to. Just to go over to some of the facts, as Tim mentioned, President Trump made his statements which in effect basically said he wished the owners would fire those players that were taking a knee and in his view disrespecting the flag and the anthem of the United States. Following that, as the games were played Sunday and Monday night, over 200 players participated in protests by either taking a knee or a seat during the national anthem. That's about 15% of the players, Tim. Fans booed in many of the stadiums. All the Seattle, Tennessee, and Pittsburgh players stayed in the locker room until the national anthem finished, except Pittsburgh's Alejandro Villanova, who came out and saluted the flag. This player, Tim, is a previous Army Ranger, obviously very patriotic, and he came out in the breezeway, put his hand over his heart, and actually saluted the flag.
And he was the only player that did that for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Ben Roethlisberger, who was the leader of that football team, stayed inside and did not come out.
Yeah.
And now he's saying he's going to come out.
Yeah.
He hated. And see, to me, I hate to say this, to me, you know, you got to stand up for what you believe. He didn't do that.
No, he didn't. But
and that he realizes.
I wonder if Mike Tomlin made a mistake in trying, as a coach, in trying to say, okay, team, let's do the one thing as a team. You know, Villanova came out after he did it and said, "Gosh, I felt bad because I was torn inside because I want to."
His teammates.
As somebody who's been in the Army, he understands how important it is to rely on your teammates.
And
he's
getting crucified for what he did.
And he was he had mixed feelings, and now he's saying, "I feel bad about doing it because I was different than my teammates." But
let me ask you a question.
He believes in this country, and that's the reason he did it.
Which is more important, being a good teammate or being a good American?
Well, because there's no doubt good American.
Good American.
But why can't you do both? And see, that's the thing about it. But
they put him in a
very bad position.
So why didn't, as a team, say, whoa, wait a minute. Why didn't Roethlisberger say, if I was Roethlisberger, I'd say, wait a minute, guys, we can't do this. Tomlin, we can't do this. Yeah. Because we have a guy who went and fought and served in the war, fought for our lives and for our country. And now, if we do this, now look what that's going to do to him.
Yeah, and see, that wasn't a good way to go about it.
Ken, I've seen him in commercials. He has made commercials for the United States Armed Services, stuff like that.
Absolutely.
Ken, I mean, listen, you know, this young man should not want to play for the Pittsburgh Steelers in my book.
Well,
he should not want to play for them.
I think those three teams took the wrong action because what they did is say, we just won't come out. That way we don't have to worry about it. In doing that, are you saying that every one of your football players on your team did not want to stand up for the?
That's what it sounds like to me.
I don't believe that's the case. So why put your players in that position?
Well, let me tell you what Jason Witten said. I told you this earlier during the break for the show. Jason Witten, who's of course one of the biggest names in professional football, and is going to go to the Hall of Fame first ballot. He said that when he was born, he was raised to stand on behalf of the national anthem salute his flag, put his hand over his heart. He said, I'll do that till the day I die. He said, I would never, ever sit down, kneel down, whatever. He said, I would do that till the day I die, and there's no amount of money whatsoever to keep me from doing that. He said, I represent, that's my beliefs, and I'm going to represent my country, and I'm going to represent the United States flag, and I'm going to do it in honor of the people who have died for us, fighting for our lives and stuff like that to give us, freedom. And, I'm lost. I'm lost. I understand what they're fighting for. I do. Just don't do it during the national anthem.
It's the wrong method, Tim.
Absolutely.
It's
almost like you're using the anthem.
Using the anthem.
Absolutely.
And
the flag.
What it does, it says, I'm using the anthem for this cause I really strongly believe in, because my cause is more important than the anthem.
Oh,
the
it's
flag,
not. No, I hate
all
to tell you
those,
that. It's
all
not.
those people who sacrifice for these freedoms and rights I have, mine is more important than that.
No, it's not.
Now, that's the signal sense. Now, some may say, well, no, that's not the way I think.
No, it's the way I think.
Well, guess what? Your actions sends a signal that it is more important than the flag.
Well,
that's what it does.
64% against a protest during the national anthem. 64% of Americans or the world, they totally are against it.
They took this poll Monday and Tuesday, and it came out late yesterday. And the question was, are you against or for the protest by the NFL players during the anthem? 64% of the ones they polled said they were against the protest. Only 25% said they were for the protest. 11% said they had no opinion.
Well, let me tell you.
So that's the people. That's the people. And fans are the people that come see the games.
Now, how do you think Colin Kaepernick feels right now?
Well, I don't know, but I know he was blackballed. But
how do you think he feels after none of the owners, none of the organizations will give him a chance? Yeah, Seattle brought him in just to kill time. Yeah. But how do you think that young man feels?
Well, I don't know, but it's sort of strange that they blackballed him, and then when his issue comes up after the president makes his statements, let's go down and join arms and be wonderful about it. Wow,
this ain't about the flag. This is about the president, Ken.
Yeah, I know.
They don't like what he said.
Yeah, there's some hypocrisy going on there, Tim.
Yes,
are you kidding me? I'm going to talk about hypocrisy here in a minute. But let me say this. This country is not perfect. There are things in this country that I don't like and I need to change, that I wish would change.
Absolutely.
That I feel strongly about.
Yep.
But I would never put those above respecting the flag of the United States.
No.
And I'll be honest there. I'm a social conservative. I don't like what the laws of this country as they relate to abortion. I don't like the attack on religion in this country. But guess what? I'm not going to use the national anthem as a platform to express my protest about that. That doesn't make any sense to me. So this country's not perfect, but it is the greatest country in the world. It's got more rights and freedoms and protections than any other country in the world. And it's those same rights and freedoms that allow American citizens the opportunity to voice their opinions.
That's right.
And to make change. That's what allows them to do it. Now, I am a military veteran. I am patriotic. When I go to the Legion games, I love standing up and looking at that flag and thinking about the sacrifices it made. I think about families that watched maybe their loved ones that gave their life for the country with that flag draped over the coffin. I think about that. That's important. They gave a lot more than I gave. They gave the ultimate sacrifice. That's important. So my opinion is this. The players who choose to protest during the national anthem by not standing are disrespecting the military, the flag, and country. And those Americans who sacrifice for those things and for what the freedoms we have in this country. To me, they're sending a signal that I don't respect it. Now, they may say they do, but guess what? They don't do it enough that they think it's more important than the cause that they feel passionate about. I think they're misguided in believing that the ends justify the means, that the cause or issue they're protesting about is more important than the ideals and principles of this country and what it's founded on, even if they say otherwise.
Well, I'm sitting there.
That's just the way I feel about it.
I agree with you. I agree with you, Kenny, 100%. I'm sitting there looking at what you had wrote down here about the U.S. Armed Forces U.S. Armed Forces, excuse me, about the anthem, about when the Baltimore Ravens played over in London this past weekend, Sunday. They kneeled, all of them, a bunch of them kneeled down for the American national anthem. But whenever they play the London's national anthem, "God Save the Queen," they all stood up.
Yeah, and that game was broadcast
That's
to the
unbelievable.
armed forces. What do you think our men overseas, our troops, thought when they saw that?
I would have turned the TV off.
I would have too.
I would have turned.
Are you
Listen,
kidding
I
me?
would never pull for the Baltimore Ravens. I would never, ever pull for the Baltimore Ravens or the organization. What they did. I mean, this is the organization. This comes down from the top.
Well, yes, I agree. The organization's at fault here.
Absolutely.
And then they went out and got completely destroyed, 44-7. I don't know. Maybe this had a part of how bad they played. I don't know, but it was
nobody really knows that. Yeah,
it was sad that happened.
Jacksonville's a pretty good ball team. I mean, they've got some pretty good ball players. So, but I just want to say that I have a lot of family members in the armed services. Got several nephews. My father-in-law was in the armed forces. He was in the Navy. I know you were too, Ken. No, you was in the Air Force.
In the
Air Force. I've got several people in the Air Force on my dad's side of the family, as well as the Navy. My uncle retired. Had another uncle retire from the Air Force. But my mother-in-law, Tanya's mom, and I'm going to tell this, she was married before she met my father-in-law, Jim, and her husband was killed in the Vietnam War, and she was stationed. He was in the Navy, and they were stationed at down in Charleston. So Suzanne, she talked about this a while back. She said, "I'll never forget watching those two white soldiers walk up to my door." She said, "I knew Reed was dead.
Yeah.
I knew."
Yeah. And see, you got to think about all that stuff that goes on. And it's a lot of people that died for this country. And I got news for you, Tim. Even in the Civil War at this country, there's a lot of Americans that died fighting against slavery, including white Americans.
Right.
This is not a black and white issue.
No,
this is
it's
not a race
no.
issue.
No. And you know, like you said, I mean, you know, you should think before you do something.
You do, and I don't think they did. I don't think most of those players are thinking about it.
I don't think they did either.
And like I say, they have the right to do it, and they have the right to be judged and criticized if folks don't agree with it.
Yep. All righty, you listen to Tim Johnson, Ken Link right here on The Best in Sports. We'll be back after these messages on WCSL, The Best in Sports.
The Glen Oaks Golf Course in Maiden. Hard to think how many birdies have been made over the years, and oh yeah, how many double bogeys too. Whether it's a birdie, par, or bogey, you'll love the Glen Oaks Golf Course. It's open to everyone. Visit the beautiful pro shop with a driving range, snack bar, banquet facility, bar, picnic shelter, and swimming pool. Great for group outings. Reserve your tee time by calling 828-428-2451 or visit the website at glenoaksgolf.com. Before you head to the great outdoors, head first to the Great Outdoors in Cherryville. They have all your hunting and fishing needs with friendly advice too. And now they have a new gunsmith on board. And the Great Outdoors carries sports equipment, including baseball bats and gloves. And they do customized screen printing for your t-shirts or team uniforms. And they are now a repair center for trolling motors. Yep, they do it all at the Great Outdoors, Highway 150 East in Cherryville, right behind McDonald's. Since 1961, Griffin Brothers Tires, Wheels, and Auto Repair has been committed to providing customers with outstanding workmanship and products at a value. With 10 area stores, including locations in Lincoln and Shelby, there's sure to be a Griffin Brothers near you. Visit them at griffinbrothers.com to learn more about their current specials. Use the Griffin Brothers Open Road credit card and get $10 off each oil change. And did you know that Griffin Brothers will beat any competitor's tire price, or they will refund the difference plus 10%? Rest assured you'll receive the best service and the best deal around. Give Griffin Brothers a try. You'll be glad you did.
All right, we're back here at The Best in Sports. It's Tim Johnson and Ken Link here on Wednesday on WCSL 1590. And, Kenny, we're looking at some baseball news here. Major League Baseball, only 5 games left in the season. You got your Indians, who is ahead 98 games up. The 59 over the Astros, who 97-60, and the Red Sox at 91 wins with 66 losses. And your American League wild card race, it looks like the Yankees are going to clinch that wild card. And looks like the Twins possibly will be playing the Yankees on the wild card, Kenny.
Yeah, the 3 teams you just mentioned, Indians, Astros, and Red Sox, are the division leaders. The Red Sox actually don't really have it wrapped up yet because they only got a 3-game lead over the Yankees. But I think the Red Sox win that division. Yankees will have the wild card. And the Twins is up a couple of games, several games on the Angels. 5 games left. The Twins would have to lose 5 and the Angels 5 for the Angels to get that second wild card. So I think it's the Twins and the Yankees. On the National League, you've got the Dodgers, who still have the best record, 101 games won. Nationals got 95 games won, and Cubs 88 games won. And those look like they're division winners. The D-backs are by clearly the first wild card, and the Rockies and Brewers are still fighting out for the last wild card. The Rockies a couple games up right now. Now, these wild card games are going to take place early next week, Tim. The American League game will be on Tuesday, and the National League game between the 2 wild card teams will be on Wednesday.
So it'll be Tuesday, October the 3rd, and Wednesday, October the 4th. That's when the wild card, the Major League Baseball playoffs will start. So I picked the Indians, and I'm sticking with them. They're going to win it all. And so we got some baseball coming up.
And next week we'll be talking about the playoffs,
Yes.
what teams are in it, and what we expect to happen.
High school football, Kenny, Cherryville High School. It's the Max Grill, and we love eating the Max Grill. Our big sponsor for the high school football team there for the Cherryville Ironmen. They're 0-1 in conference, 2-3 overall. They lost to Thomas Jefferson, who's 5-0, 1-0. They're a pretty good football team.
Yes, they are, and they played Thomas Jefferson pretty close most of that game. It was a one-score game about midway through the fourth quarter, 13-7. Cherryville was missing their best wide receiver.
I heard that.
Matt Cain, who sprained his ankle right before the game, is unexpected, and as a result, they didn't really have a passing attack, and so their offense bogged down. They only had a 158 yards total offense. They also turned it over 4 times, Tim, so you can't win when you do that.
I see they had a pick 6 for an interception. Yeah.
Yes.
You can't turn the ball over when you play good football teams, and I had no idea how good Thomas Jefferson was.
Yeah, and they'll play the County School of Davison this week, and I'm hoping and I believe that Cherryville Ironmen get a win this week.
Oh, most definitely. I will pick them win as well against the County School of Davison. So Cherryville Ironmen, they're coming off a loss this week, and like I say, they play this Friday night. Is it at Cherryville or is it at Davison?
I believe this one's at Davison.
At County of Davison, okay. All right, so and in NASCAR news, Kenny, it's the second playoff race. Kyle Busch wins at New Hampshire Motor Speedway, and Kyle Larson, and he finished second. So how about Mark Trez Jr.? Where was he at?
I think he was 5th, so he's still way ahead in the points. Now the next race is a key one because it's the 3rd race in, and after that race there will be 4 eliminated.
Wow. So when they get rid of the 4, how many more they would have? 8 left? Is that right?
They'll have 12 left.
12 left, okay.
And then they get after 6 races they get rid of 4
more.
So they have down 8 to 8. In the 9th race they get put 4 more, and that cuts it to 4 for that 10th and final race.
All righty, Ken. Also, our first federal Lincoln County High School football student athlete football player of the week was Mr. Reed McQuarrie of the North Lincoln High School. Ken had an outstanding football game, had over 300 yards passing, had 3 touchdown throws, and also had a rushing touchdown himself, Kenny. What a great young man.
He had a great game, and we met him Monday afternoon as we presented that award, and he's had a great season this year, and
yes,
he's been racking up a lot of good stats.
He has.
For North Lincoln.
Yes, he has. Like you said, he's had a great season, and he's put together a really good package this year, him being a senior for the North Lincoln Knights there. So hopefully he'll get a couple looks at from some college kids. Kid, he's a pretty tall kid too.
I noticed that when we met. Yes. I thought, man, he's right up there.
He's ever been a 6'2", 6'3".
Yeah, I'm 6'3", and he's standing right up there with me. So, yeah, I think he's at least 6'3".
He got a strong arm, throws the football really well, and he's real accurate with the football, and he can run too, so he's got some legs on him as well. So hopefully some schools will come calling. I'm sure Coach Pack down there would be awfully excited to have his senior quarterback going somewhere and play some football at the next level.
Yes, Tim, and each week we're going to give an award, and again this week we'll be evaluating all the Friday night games, and there'll be an award presented to some Lincoln County student athlete next week.
Absolutely. All right, Ken, that's going to do it for the best in sports right here for WCSL 1590. You can always catch Tim and Ken every Wednesday live. Also on YouTube too, Ken. You can check us out on YouTube.
Yes, we're there, and feel free to do that, or go back and look at some of our, or listen to some of our previous shows.
Absolutely. All righty, thank you for tuning in, and I want to say hello to Mike Stamey, and we'll see Mr. Cowboy here in a few hours. All righty, guys. Y'all have a great week. We'll see you here next week.
The new full line of ceiling and Tempur-Pedic bedding is now at Hendrick Appliance and Mattress Center, 1241 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Queen size sets start at $399. You'll find Motion Foundation queen size sets with head and foot raise up starting at $500. And that's not all. Get closeout prices on display models of Sealy bedding. A good night's sleep starts at Hendrick Appliance and Mattress Center, 1241 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Open 9 to 6 Monday through Friday, 9 to 3 Saturday. Online at HendrickAppliance.com. The summer breakthrough sale is underway at Renato Cadillac Buick GMC in Shelby. You'll find red hot summer deals. Save up to $4,000 MSRP on the 2017 Buick Encore. Take $8,000 off MSRP on the 2016 GMC Sierra truck. And that's not all. Take 17% off 2016 and 2017 Buick LaCrosse. Plus, see the huge selection of pre-owned vehicles at the Pre-Owned Super Center. Now's the time to buy during the summer breakthrough sale. Going on now at Renato Cadillac Buick GMC, located at Renato Auto Mall, 4423 East Dixon Boulevard, Shelby. Unless the Lord builds a house, its builders labor over it in vain. This is from Psalms 127, and this verse is what Key Builders in Lincoln is built on. Key Builders in Lincoln is large enough to do what the big boys do, but small enough to be personal. Bring your own plans or visit the website at keybuildersnc.com and view theirs. They have homes for everyone, so call your local hometown builder. Key Builders, 704-735-0040, or visit their office at 1459 North Aspen Street in Lincoln. Like them on Facebook, too.
Brian Geisinger from the ACC Sports Journal. Here's a look at what we have at ACCSports.com today. News broke on Tuesday with the FBI arresting several NCAA basketball assistant coaches in connection with a pay-to-play corruption scheme in college hoops. For the latest on that and how it impacts the ACC, make sure to check out ACCSports.com. Over at the ACC Analytics tab, we take a look at the numbers behind Anthony Ratliff-Williams, the newest star to UNC's offense. Bradley Chubb is coming off one of the best games of his career at NC State in the win over Florida State in Tallahassee. At the ACC Analytics page, we look at just how effective Chubb and company have been this season. For the latest news on the Blue Devils, Demon Deacons, Tar Heels, Wolfpack, and the rest of the ACC, make sure to check out ACCSports.com. I'm Brian Geisinger.
Bill Shuford Heating and Air Conditioning in Shelby and American Standard Heating and Cooling presents the Set the Standard Sales Event now through November 30th. During this special program, you can get up to a $1,000 instant rebate or get 0% APR financing for 36 months. Come in for all the details during the American Standard Set the Standard Sales Event at Bill Shuford Heating and Air, 213 Campbell Street in Shelby, your American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning dealer. They outshine the rest, so buy from the best. That's Pegram Insurance for auto, home, motorcycle, and mobile home insurance. They'll shop for your lowest rates with low down payments, low monthly payments, and they insure any driver, any age, any vehicle. Visit your nearest location for a free quote today. Pegram Insurance, 220 West Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, where you get lower rates and better service. Remember the name, Pegram Insurance.
In local news, the last two suspects wanted in connection with the theft of an enclosed trailer from Real Life Community Church on Highway 27